Print out the internet? Yes, ma'am. This is about a decade ago, but still well within the realm of the internet. I was a technical writer for the government and had slowly been transferring our old employee handbook, think government bureaucracy from the 1940s, into a modern and actually useful doc. Think one page with our policies and links to useful websites, like Office of Personnel Management, forms for workman's comp, etc. My boss wanted the whole thing printed out on her desk the next morning. This was Monday of the Thanksgiving weekend. I printed out the 200 or so pages and just had the links to the various websites in bold. This took about an hour, and I left it on her desk before going home that night. She calls me in her office on Tuesday afternoon and proceeds to yell at me at how stupid I am. Do I think people can just go to a website when it is on paper? No. I need to print everything out. I calmly tell her that these sites are pretty dense and deep and it would be about 10,000 pages. She says she does not care. It needs to be on her desk, damn it, first thing Monday morning. Mind you, this is now Tuesday and we usually had some of Wednesday off. I was not really planning to work Thursday, Thanksgiving or Friday, as I had applied for leave and was looking forward to a nice relaxing long weekend. I don't have family, but I had plans. But okay. I asked for, and got the request to have, everything pertaining to the employee handbook online in a printed format. I also had real work and real deadlines. A quick bit of context. She was my boss. She did my performance appraisals and she could make my life miserable and possibly fire me. However, my clients were teams that put together engineering plans, biological assessments, scientific journal articles, reports to Congress, etc., that had real-world deadlines. On some of these, if you missed the publication date, your agency paid $100,000 a day in delay fees. Or you would piss off a congressperson, which is never a good idea. And I was really getting sick and tired of my boss's requests that took me away from my actual work. So I was printing and printing all the rest of Tuesday afternoon. And then Wednesday, I had to go to the site, print, click on the next link, print, etc. On Wednesday, we got a letter from a Congress critter that was actually important. Had we not gotten that, I might not have done what I did. I got overtime approved pronto to take care of this request, so I did work Thanksgiving. As I was doing that, I kept on printing and printing. I used up every sheet of paper in our 14-story building. I kept on researching the response for the congressional printing, going to the next floor to carefully get that packet of paper to tuck under the appropriate page, etc. I had paper in about 20 different conference rooms. I could have done the congressional in about 8 hours. But it was not due until Monday. And all of this printing took me a good 24 hours of work. So I put in for 32 hours. Thursday, Friday, Sat, and Sun. Got it done. This is now 2 stacks of paper, each about 6 feet high. I was way under in my estimate of 10,000 pages, as it was more like about 30,000. Remember, I had at least 5 printers going at once for 4 days, etc. I put this in my boss's office, which was already none too clean and pristine. I got written up, with a disciplinary hearing and everything. The charge was malicious compliance. I kept my job only because I did have her request in an email. Should read, got the request in writing. Ironically, in an email. Another day saved by CYA paper trail. Did nothing happen to her? For her, I don't care, stupid request? Up. Was there any fallout for your boss? Since they went all the way forward in documenting their own idiocy, then retaliating too? That's dumb. She requested it, but you got in trouble. I understand it was years ago. But the fact that she didn't understand she could just look at anything and everything on the computer and didn't need a physical copy? If it was some HR thing, that would be malicious compliance on her part. But government jobs think different. So it is what it is. It happened. Did she give you a good performance review? No. I need to print everything out. I calmly tell her that these sites are pretty dense and deep and it would be about 10,000 pages. She says she does not care. It needs to be on her desk, damn it, first thing Monday morning. She heard you but didn't listen. Stupid is as stupid does. She may not be stupid but her actions say otherwise. I had a boss once tell me, do X, and I explained. This being my area of expertise, that doing X would ruin our product. She said that if I didn't do X, I would be fired for insubordination. I asked her to put it in an email, which I immediately printed out and kept safe. So I did X. A few weeks later, when the product was due to be delivered, management discovered the product was ruined and undeliverable. I was called into the vice president's office and asked to explain why I had done X when it was obvious that it would ruin the product. I showed them the email from my boss. They fired me because I should have refused to do X. You should have filed a protest through the OPM. Any disciplinary action received based on complying with written instructions would likely be overturned. If she persisted with further actions against you, you then could file a grievance and state you were being subjected to a hostile work environment, and request reassignment to a different group or organization. Your HR department did you a big disservice by not instructing you of your rights as a Gov employee. As long as you had no previous write-ups and your past assessments were good, you probably would have won your case. And that printing expense got passed on to the U.S. taxpayer? Thanks. The charge was malicious compliance. Really? Oh please. Please. Please tell me they used those actual words in the write-up. Certified by the federal government, malicious compliance. You win. I'm sorry, do you really think anyone thought there was no internet in 2013? Your actions didn't sound malicious to me. For disciplinary board, you warned her and followed her order. So, I'm thinking you got written up not so much for the overtime that was pre-approved. Hopefully. But the fact that you're at some level where you are either supposed to have limited supervision and are expected to make some decisions on your own. The fact once you had a pile of paper printed out stacked over 4 or 8 inches, 1 or 2 binders worth, and decided to keep printing beyond what would have been considered practical for an employee to print out or an agency to pay for printing. You would have been expected to execute good judgment and stop the print job and overtime. Unless you had continued on with the congressional request instead. Does that sound about right? Very malicious compliance. Indeed. Unfortunately. To your own detriment. Did the congressional request get executed in time? Or was that not made a priority and why you were subject to a disciplinary hearing action? Please tell me you put them out of order.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.